Hey everyone, it's been such a long time, I feel. I mean, it hasn't been that long, but it definitely feels like it's been long. Um, but yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna jump right into it. I have a lot to say today. Um, I guess to be honest, like I'm feeling just like really overwhelmed with like what's going on in my life. Every time I look up, there's some kind of new event happening, and let's just talk about it. So, this week started out super interesting to say the least. Um, so I'm a teacher. I don't know if let me just get that out there. I'm a teacher. I'm a math teacher. I've taught calculus and physics and algebra and everything in between. Anything math related, science related, except for chemistry and bio. But anyways, overall, let me just put this out there. The teaching profession itself is something that it needs to be revamped. Personally, I don't think that I am meant to be a teacher. Am I a good teacher? Yes. And am I bragging? Maybe, but I can brag. I can brag a little bit sometimes. I'm a great teacher. You know, I put my heart and my soul into every single lesson. I deliver the best way I know how. And for the most part, like, you know, that's pretty satisfying. I mean, I feel happy enough helping the youth and helping them see the beauty of math. And I think it's a wonderful thing, the teaching aspect of it. The behind the scenes is like a whole nother story, which reminds me, I want to talk about maybe in the next video. But anyways, so I'm a teacher. Do I regret being a teacher? Yes, I do. I feel like there were so many other career choices for me that I could have just really excelled at. I'm very book smart. I don't have a lot of common sense, but I am really book smart. I can pick up something and like figure it out really quickly. And the reason I'm saying that is that I think I could have had better skills elsewhere. Like I wanted to be a meteorologist, and then I wanted to be a mortician, which is, I know, really disturbing, but hear me out, actually. Let's talk about that a little bit. Like, the reason like I would like to be a mortician in the first place is that not because I have an affinity for the dead or anything. It's just because, you know, that's your last chance to make somebody be exposed to the world in a way that they would want to be exposed to it. It's actually a very like sacred moment. And I remember at my grandma's funeral, like looking at her body, and I was thinking like, that's exactly how she would have fixed her hair, and that's exactly the way she would have wanted her hands to be, and you could see her ring, and it was just, you know, it was so nice. And I thought about all the thought that was put into that and the questions that had to be asked. And to me, I thought it was like so nice that somebody could present a loved one like that in a way that we could cherish her. Anyway, so yeah, meteorologist, mortician, so many other things that I feel like an engineer. I mean, that's probably the one I should have been, to be honest with you. But anyways, I am a teacher, and I am thankful that I have a job, number one. Number two, this week, on Monday, I just got like an interesting email from a parent, which either directly or maybe even inadvertently said that because I chew gum as I'm teaching, that their child has issues learning. And so I typed up a very, what I consider kosher email, and I sent it back, and it was very professional, and I was as kind as I could be. But notice, like, I work in a school that we have no lunch, we hardly ever have time to eat lunch. And because there's always duty, and now there's such a teacher shortage that we have to disperse other classes, meaning I go to a teacher who is not there. Either they're absent for the day or they have a vacancy, and I take those kids and I have to bring them door to door to make sure I distribute them to another teacher so that they're not sitting alone. It takes a lot of time. It's always a headache, but anyways, we do it. Okay, so as overwhelmed as I am with all of that, I just like the chewing gum thing just like sent me over. I guess I had like I had a moment of weakness, if you will. And the email wasn't ugly at all. Like, I just said, to be perfectly fair and to be perfectly kind, I am going to chew gum. It's as simple as that. I'm chewing my gum. Anyway, so then I talked to the principal about it. She read my email. She thought it was okay. And I just had to contend with that. So that's how the week kind of started. And then came the rain. So, I literally like heard the rain all day. It was really heavy, and we all got this emergency alert that said flash flood warning, please evacuate. Meanwhile, we're still at school. When I opened the door, there's like water level with the floor coming inside, like the school, like it's about to flood really bad. I look in the parking lot, the cars are flooded, and I'm like, oh my God, like let me just pray to God that my car is okay over there. So I wade through water, a little more than a foot deep, I would say, and my car is really low. And I get to the car and it looks fine, it runs fine, there's no issues, thank God. But I can tell there's a little bit of water in the floorboard. So I guess the water got high enough to get outside a little bit because the floorboard is wet. And now it's mildewed. And it's been raining every single day so hard that I can't get the mildew smell out of it. So on the next sunny day, I guess I'm gonna have to get out there with like baking soda or whatever. And I apologize in advance that this video is not as like uplifting as like my other ones. I just really needed a second to vent about everything. Okay, so that was that. I finally got a paycheck because mind you, I came from Florida and I had a lull in my paycheck due to an accident, and I've had a lot of medical bills. And so it's all been piling up. I mean, I haven't been paid in 3 months, and I've spent so much, like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on medical bills and just upkeeping, getting a new apartment, and I had to get a bed and a couch and like things like that. And it all has just like really built up. And not to brag, but I've always been really good with my finances. I've been independent for a very, very long time. And I've never struggled financially because I've always budgeted my money in a way that has carried me to the next paycheck, and I've always had money to save, and it's just I've never had an issue, to be honest, until now. And when I got to this new school that I'm at, my pay has been prorated such that my checks, and I don't even care if you know how much I make at this point, because honestly, you need to understand this in order to understand where I'm coming from. It is like $2,500 a month, or actually maybe even a little less, for 1 month. Well, I got paid that after working at the school for nearly 2 months completely. That's how much I got paid for my 2 months. And then I'm completely certified. I'm actually a level 2 educator, meaning I've had 4 successful years of teaching, and I've gotten my raise, and so they upgraded me to a level 2 license. And that's what I'm getting paid, okay, per month, $2,500 per month. Which now, especially, okay, number one, things are really inflated now, as we all know. Okay, I'm not a victim. I know that life is expensive, but it doesn't help that it's inflated. And so you have your apartment and your water and sewage, your electricity, your phone bill, your car insurance, your car note, your electricity, your internet, phone bill. I mean, I've probably listed some of these before. Medical bills, credit card. I mean, and just the list goes on. There's so many bills that just, accumulate as an adult. And it's hard to make $2,500 sustain. Add gas, add groceries. You have hardly nothing left. So this whole week, I've been talking to other jobs and trying to get a part-time job to work on the evenings and the weekends to sustain my life. So it's just been really crazy. And so I applied for like pizza delivery, and I have an interview next week. And then I applied for a job at the gym, which I'd rather get the job at the gym, because I honestly think I would just be happier in that environment, and it would be easier, and I would take care of my gym membership per month and everything else, which would be great. And I know this sounds like I'm just kind of whining, and you know what? I'm sorry about that, but I just need a second to whine. And it's like this has been like the hardest few months of my life. And it's not that I'm alone. Like, I have friends and my family, and something else that's just been bothering me is like my mom and like my parents are just they're helpful. Like, if I were to ask for help, they're gonna help me. But I don't ask for help, and I don't want the help. I want to do it myself. But also sometimes I just feel like they're so detached from me versus like my brother and my sister. Like my mom is going to stay the night with my sister tomorrow, and we live. I mean, she lives like an hour and a half north of me, but I live southwest of her. So the distance is about the same for my mom to travel to sister versus me. And my mom like never comes to see me ever. And even before I moved to Florida, I mean, she did come to Florida after I was. Anyways, that's another story. But, or actually, you already heard the story a million times. But, anyways, it just like frustrates me sometimes because I feel like I'm always like, I don't think I'm on the back burner, so to speak, but I don't think it's the same amount of. We just don't have that connection. Like, there's definitely like been a loss over the years, and I love her to death. She's come around. I am so proud of my mom, to be honest with you. But we just we'll always have like a gap, I guess. So we don't really. I mean, we get along. We don't really know each other, Like, she doesn't really know me, and that's kind of like sad, I think. But she doesn't know me as an adult. And maybe, you know what? Maybe I don't know her as well as I think I do either. But anyway, all power to it. So she called me a few minutes ago, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to your sister's tomorrow to go stay the night and all this. And I was like, okay. Well, she goes, why don't you come see us? And I'm like, okay, well, why don't you come here? You haven't even seen my new apartment yet. Like, you haven't. I don't know what it takes to get you over here. I mean, what do I have to do? Beg, But anyways. Oh, and I forgot one more thing. This is so important. I've never been reprimanded at school or my job my whole life. But the other day, during the flood, I got called into the principal's office for the second time this week, and she reprimanded me for wearing a solid black t-shirt with my khakis because all my collared shirts were dirty. It was a long, this long, regular black, solid black Nike t-shirt. No logos, nothing. Actually, it had the white check mark, but that was it. Nothing. Anyway, so I got in trouble for wearing that today, and as I'm getting in trouble for it, I'm looking past everybody else, and I see, some other teachers wearing some, leggings or graphic t-shirts, and I'm wondering why I'm the one who's like getting talked to about this, but it just like exacerbated my frustration. And it's okay to be frustrated sometimes. You can't always not be frustrated, and I've tried really hard, especially these past few months, to be very positive. And I think it's just like caught up to me. Like I'm like really struggling like financially for once in my life, and it's not because of like bad spending habits. It's just because of medical bills and a job that prorated my pay so low that it's hardly sustainable. And now I'm having to get another job, and so I'll never have days off. It's just a lot, y'all. It's just a lot. Yeah, and I still have to have like another procedure done, that I've been putting off because I can't afford to have it right now. It's just, how it goes. Like everybody has like everybody hits these pockets in life, and I'm actually at one of those pockets right now. And I think today it's like caught up to me really bad. I took a walk to go to the dump earlier, but I really just needed to go take a walk, just blow off my steam, because I was like sitting at the table and I was like, I'm just like so nervous and like I'm shaking. And I think I was, just anxiety overall with what's going on. But and this sounds so conceited, and I probably will regret saying this, but there are like few people that I know. And actually, that's not fair because so many people don't talk about like their problems or like what's going on in their life and stuff. And everybody's problems are so different, and I don't discredit that. But personally, for me, the past few years, I just feel like I have been like one hit KO'd every single year. And I think a lot of it could have been prevented, but a lot of it just is inherently in my deck of cards, and that's just the way it felt. And maybe that's because the universe or God or whatever you want to call it, or whatever you believe in, maybe that's just because they know, or he knows, or it knows, or that I can handle the challenge. But you know what? I am like really tired of being challenged right now. And I hope that soon that all of this is over and it's water under my bridge and I can just add it to my like life resume of like things that have happened. And you know what? It's going to be like that. It definitely will. And if there's anything happening in your life and you feel overwhelmed, I hope that maybe like this helps you. Like we can, misery loves company. But we're going to get through it and it's going to be okay. I mean, you've made it this far. Nothing's going to stop you now. You've made it this far. You clearly can accomplish any obstacle thrown at you. And I can too. And I hope that everything is well with your life. And I hope that if you have tribulations that you're going through, that you're able to surmount them and everything's okay. Okay, well, thanks for letting me vent to you. Not all of them will be this whiny, I promise. But it's been really nice. Let's talk again really soon. Hopefully not as long as it was this past time. It just was a crazy week. But have a wonderful night, and I can't wait to chat again. Bye.